Good morning, ASEAN. Freshen up your world, your thought, and your idea with us every weekday from 7:30 to 8 a.m. I'm Patsurang Desha Putharangsi.
And I'm Rina Jumpersit. It's Tuesday, the 8th of October, and let's start first with the aftermath of the APEC meeting. Patsurang.
Yep, as Chinese President Xi Jinping made an important remark that APEC members should play a leading role in opening and advancing a global economy. Noting that the world economy is still confronted with daunting challenges before achieving full recovery and sound growth. And she also said that APEC must face them head-on with courage and resolve. APEC should play a leading and coordinating role in maintaining and advancing an open world economy and in making sure that the Asia-Pacific continues to serve as an engine for global economic recovery. In his speech, Xi put forward a three-point proposal for APEC. First, APEC member economies should work together for the common development of the Asia-Pacific through increased macroeconomic policy coordination. Second, APEC members should maintain economic and financial stability in the Asia-Pacific through factual assessment of the situation and cool-headed response to the challenges. Xi also asked APEC member economies to prevent risks from piling up and causing major economic and financial turbulence in the Asia-Pacific, while expressing confidence about the future of the region. Third, APEC members should take a long-term perspective, promote profound economic restructuring, and give stronger impetus to the sustained development of the Asia-Pacific. She also said that these regional blocked economies should accelerate readjustment of their respective economic infrastructure and deepen the integration of the industrial chain and the value chain so that the Asia-Pacific will take the lead globally in forming new industrial clusters for growth and continue to serve as an important engine for the world economy. He also called on APEC members to stay committed to open development and resolutely oppose trade protectionism. The developed members should set a good example in opening their markets wider, give higher priority to economic and technical cooperation, and help developing members enhance their competitiveness.
Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has said that Japan is committed to increasing connectivity in the Asia-Pacific region by developing high-technology infrastructure. Let us connect infrastructure in the region and ensure a strong economy among APEC economies, Abe said in his keynote speech delivered at the 9th APEC CEO meeting in Bali. The Prime Minister said that according to Asia Development Bank data, the Asia-Pacific region needed $8 billion of investment for infrastructure development until 2020. Abe said infrastructure development using good technology will make sure that our investment will bring benefits to people and in the end will boost national economies. He added that quality technology would also create budgetary efficiency due to longer periods of use and low cost. Citing an example, Abe said that recently Japan and local state-owned utility company PT Perusahan Listrik Negara had signed a partnership agreement to develop a $2.67 billion steam power plant in Batang, Central Java, over 25 years. With the technology, the power plant can produce 2 times 1,000 megawatts of electricity and will be 47% more efficient. Abe said that the partnership agreement involved Adaro, a domestic coal mining company, to ensure an adequate supply of fuel. He said the project created job opportunities for a minimum of 5,000 local people and gave local component producers opportunities to participate in the production process.
Prime Minister Stephen Harper of Canada has just received an unexpected boon from Malaysian side Convena, which is a $36 billion vote of confidence from the country's state-owned gas and pipeline company. As Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak sprung the gargantuan investment figure during a joint photo op earlier in the day with Harper, saying Malaysia's state-owned oil and gas company PETRONAS has committed itself to building both a liquid natural gas plant in British Columbia and the pipeline to feed it. Najib said that he is told that this is the largest direct investment in Canada by any country, well, flanked by Harper following a formal welcoming ceremony at a sprawling new government precinct outside the capital, Kuala Lumpur, just before they both attended the APEC meeting. Well, Najib called it a significant landmark decision by PETRONAS, which last year spent more than $5 billion to buy Alberta-based Progress Energy Incorporation. The PETRONAS takeover and a bigger oil patch buyout by China state-owned CNOOC triggered months of hand-wringing in the Harper government over majority takeovers of Canadian companies by foreign state-owned enterprises, or SOEs. However, Harper's reaction to Najib's announcement was almost muted by contrast. And he said that they viewed the PETRONAS investments very positively, and all the indications he has is that PETRONAS is looking at further investment. But the government of Canada is very excited about the possibility, as are all those he has talked to in the energy sector. However, the Prime Minister's office declined to provide any details of the promised $36 billion investment, and it referred reporters to PETRONAS for details. Regardless, the announcement provides Harper a much-needed shot in the arm as he brings Canada's trade and investment message to Bali. Najib was asked by a Malaysian reporter what guarantees PETRONAS have been given on its multi-billion-dollar Canadian investment over 30 years. The investment has a long horizon, Najib agreed, adding he is confident that not only the current Conservative government but future governments would support PETRONAS' Canadian involvement. Harper says his government judges each foreign investment on its merits and called it a policy of discretion. It's a fine balance for a Conservative government that says it is courting Asian markets and wants to make Canada an emerging energy superpower, but has faced a backlash from its political base over foreign state-owned enterprises takeovers, especially the Chinese.
In Myanmar Focus Daily, let's take a look at the upcoming laws and regulations for business and investment.
To further create level playing fields and improve investment climate of the country, Myanmar is currently drafting several new laws and regulations related to business and investment. And for Myanmar Focus Daily this episode, we will be looking at this list of the new laws and regulations. Starting with the new foreign investment law and its rules and regulations that have already come out. The new foreign investment law has become much more transparent, more predictable compared to the old foreign investment law, according to Set Ong, Deputy Ministers of Ministries of National Planning and Economic Development. Recently, the Myanmar Citizen Investment Law has already come out, but rules and regulations are yet to come out, but they would come out very soon. The focus of Myanmar government is to improve the investment sector in the country by ensuring the level playing field and the favorably investment climate to foreign investment, domestic investment, and public investment. The Foreign Investment Law and Myanmar Citizen Investment Law, particularly on the investment side, also have another law related to investment. It's called the Special Economic Zone Law. In the past, Myanmar used to have Special Economic Zone Law and the Way Special Economic Zone Law, which was enacted in January 2011 before the new government took over. But at that time, these two laws were found to be not attractive to induce foreign and domestic investment to come to Special Economic Zone.
That is why we revised the Special Economic Zone law very rigorously. So more than 80% of the law, the contents of the law have been already revised. So the new SEZ law is going to be, going to come up very soon. But the new SEZ law is going to be the umbrella SEZ law. So we are not going to have the Ware SEZ law or Tilawa SEZ law or, the separate laws for each and every individual special economic zones. So the new SEZ law has been approved by the People's Parliament, so it's going to be soon approved by the Union Parliament and then will be enacted by the government very soon.
According to the ministers, if the foreign investors want to invest in any other places apart from the special economic zone areas, they are going to be embedded under the foreign investment law. They have to get an investment license from the Myanmar Investment Commission or MIC. If a foreign investor is coming to any of the special economic zone to make an investment as a tenant or as an investor in the zone, they are going to be embedded under the special economic zone law, and then they have to get a license directly from one-stop service center established in each special economic zone. Moving on to the new central bank law, though it has already been passed, the rules and regulations for the new central bank law are being drafted for the time being.
And at the same time, we are also drafting financial institution law as well. That is another area of investment, especially for financial institutions. So we are also, especially with a view to have much better development in the financial sector, we are also, we are also planning to have foreign financial institutions to enter into the country in different various forms. But for the time being, although financial institution law is being drafted, but it's the law is going to deal with any financial institutions, whether it is the Myanmar local financial institutions or foreign financial institutions. There are going to be a lot of stipulations how to control them, how to supervise them, and how to make these financial institutions much more effectively operating in the country.
Myanmar has already drafted new procedures and guidelines related to the licensing of the new foreign domestic financial institutions. However, it is still in the process of discussion whether in what kind of form of the foreign financial institutions would be allowed to enter and participate in the financial sector of Myanmar, as it is a policy matter. For the domestic investment side, Myanmar has also drafted a small and medium-sized promotion law which will be approved by the parliament very soon. Aravitang Misang from Myanmar Focus Daily.
Coming back for the flood situation update in Thailand after the break.
The World Bank said it might revise Thailand's economic forecast again this year pending the progress of economic recoveries in developed economies and China. The announcement accompanied the bank's downgrades yesterday of its forecast for the economic growth rates of Thailand and the rest of Asia Pacific, chiefly due to the slow recovery in developed economies and the slower growth in China. Thailand's gross domestic product forecast for 2013 and 2014 were slashed to 4% and 4.5%, from 5.3% and 5% in the April forecast. Another revision could take place later this year, much depending on the recovery in the global economy and China. It remains to be seen how much household consumption will decline in the last 4 months of the year, and if the decline would be smaller than expected, said Girida Pautpichit, the World Bank Thailand economist. She attributed this month's downward revision to lower than expected exports in the first half. Domestic consumption has dropped, while investment shows small growth. However, the growth rate would be higher next year thanks to the global recovery as well as the implementation of government infrastructure projects. The World Bank is convinced that Thailand's exports would increase by only 2.4% this year, against the Commerce Ministry's 4% target. But as imports will expand only 4.5%, Thailand should maintain a trade surplus this year. The bank foresees export growth of over 5%.
Thailand's Royal Irrigation Department is blaming the raging floods in the east on the lack of water drainage options. Many areas in the region have been underwater for more than a month already. Well, according to the department's Deputy Director General Suthep Noy-Pairod, the region has been relying on local rivers for water draining. There's nothing else. Well, he said that although there are plenty of reservoir projects in the works for the region, none of them has been completed yet. For example, the Hue Samong Reservoir in Prachinburi's Nadi district is scheduled for completion way in 2017. He said they need an investment more in this, although that he admitted that the continuous downpours were also to be blamed. According to Prachinburi Governor Chitra Prom Chutima, her province has been getting about 200 millimeters of rain per day since September 19th. The province spans an area of just over 7,500 square meters. Well, the province has more than 1.1 billion cubic meters of water now. Chitra went on to say that the only channel to drain water was through the Prachinburi River, which is already brimming over. The Disaster Prevention and Mitigation Department said 17 boats have so far been deployed on the river to help with the water drainage. Neighboring province Sakeo is also struggling with serious flooding. Well, so far about 100 families in Khao Chakan district have been evacuated due to high flood levels in their hometown. As of press time, floods have ravaged 28 provinces and affected the lives of some 2 million people. So one day, a vendor at the Lam Nam Yong Dam in Buriram's Nong Dindang district said flooding was hurting business very badly. She said the dam usually attracts tourists, but with the flooding, nobody is showing up. We cannot earn anything.
In this special report, we will see the life of General Vong Yen Gip, a loyal communist and a military genius.
Born into a homeland full of patriotism, General Sap soon followed the revolutionary path when he was only 14. He became a member of the party when he turned 29 and was promoted to General Commander-in-Chief of Vietnam People's Army when he was only 37. He held various important positions, including Politburo member, Secretary of the Military Commission of the Central Party Committee, Standing Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Defense, Commander-in-Chief of Vietnam People's Army, Member of National Assembly. For all his life, he has devoted himself to the party, the people, and the revolution. His life was inextricably linked to the glorious and brave revolution of the party and people. Many historical landmarks of the country bear the mark of General Vo Nguyen Sap. In December 1944, he was assigned by President Ho Chi Minh to establish the Vietnam Propaganda Liberation Army, and he led the team to win the first two battles against the French in Phai Cat and Nha Ngan just a few days later. Under the leadership of the party, with an earth-shocking Dien Bien Phu victory, General Vo Nguyen Sap earned the reputation of being a magical architect and a legendary general, one of the few who shifted the flow of history. In the war against the US, the general and the Politburo directed many major military campaigns, the biggest one being the Ho Chi Minh Campaign, and many defense efforts against the US's Air Force and Navy in the north. With the turn of the history, on April 7, 1975, in the Ho Chi Minh Campaign, he signed an order that read, "Quicker, even quicker, daring, even more daring, make use of every minute, every hour to advance to the south, determined to fight and win." The order served as a proclamation that energized the entire military during the historic Ho Chi Minh Campaign, being not only a strategist and organizer of major battles that defeated various leading reputed generals from France and the US, General Vo Nguyen Sap also contributed to forming the Vietnam military theory, military of the people, justice over cruelty during the Ho Chi Minh era. The theory inherits and brings into play the historical lessons of their ancestors into the new era of fighting invaders. Being an outstanding student of and close to the late President Ho Chi Minh, during all his revolutionary life, General Vo Nguyen Sap contributed a great deal and was loved and respected by the party and people and international friends. He is an exemplary figure, a great personality with his intelligence, virtue, and humanity. He is a pride of the Vietnamese nation and of the generations of the heroic army. An outstanding child of the nation has passed away, leaving the party and people with a great sense of appreciation and grief. Mother Earth is opening her hand to welcome the general to eternity. The party, people, armed forces are left to turn grief into strength, to unite to successfully implement the resolutions of the party's 11th Congress. to advance the reforms of industrialization and modernization for a prosperous population, strong country, democracy, equality, and civilization. All Vietnamese citizens are, with great fortitude and dedication, moving forward to implement the resolution of the 4th plenum of the party's Central Committee on Party Building, with a campaign to learn from Ho Chi Minh. Farewell General Vong Nhat Sap, the loyal and exemplary communist and military genius. The Vietnamese people are committed to live and work according to the bright example that the general set, a person beloved, trusted, and respected by the party, military, and people.
That's it for today's Good Morning ASEAN edition. So I'll see you again, same time, same place, same channel.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Meena Jongpasit.
and พัชสุรานเดชาพุทธรังสีสวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ